Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. We're on our way to do some hiking and backcountry camping in the Hinton, Alberta area, a gateway to some of the most breathtaking natural landscapes in Canada. Nestled in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, this part of Alberta is surrounded by lush forests, pristine rivers, and an abundance of wildlife. In this video, we embark on an adventure that takes us through Hinton's trail system, which meanders through stunning wetlands and lush forests. Later, we'll go backcountry camping, starting at the Rock Lake Provincial Park trailhead, which will lead us into Wilmore Wilderness Park. After a 3-hour drive, we arrived in Hinton, and our first thought was to grab a bite to eat. However, I'm not sure if what I ordered was what I expected. All I can say is it appeared to be just 2 ingredients, cheese and pasta. Definitely not a meal for champions or hikers. Because rain was in the forecast, we decided to stay in Hinton for the night and visit the Beaver Boardwalk Trail. The trail offers stunning views of the surrounding wetlands, forests, and streams, and is a perfect spot to relax at the end of the day.
Area of Hinton there, and then of course we are right here, and there is quite an extensive network of trails. All sorts of options.
As we strolled along the boardwalk, we kept an eye out for wildlife, and were not disappointed with these guys taking over a section. As we walked along, we also discovered that some of the boardwalks were closed, as the Rehabilitation Committee is currently working on sections that have fallen into disrepair. A reason to return later and explore these missed areas.
There's a pretty young bird, eh? Very squawky.
Continuing along one of the boardwalks, we transitioned from the wetlands into the mountain forest, complete with streams and unique natural features. As we ventured further in, the boardwalk turned into a trail as we walked through the forested hills. On this tree, you could see scratch marks where a bear had been long ago. Being in a wet and humid environment, mushrooms grew in abundance. So we came to Hinton a bit early here, so we decided to take one of the trails near the town. And this one's called the Happy Creek Trail. And we thought it'd be just this typical, city park kind of thing. It turned out to be a trail system that's worthy of Jasper or Elk Island. So we're about halfway on this guy. Actually, not even. We're still looking for the point that goes way up to the top here and then turns around and then goes back towards the town. It's an absolute amazing trail system they got here. As you can see from some of the shots too, it's very beautiful woods. Along the way, we also came across this boreal toad, which are fairly common in this part of Canada.
Not that we're tired or anything, but it is almost 3. Kind of looks like it is starting to cloud over, so. And then they were predicting that there could be thunderstorms this afternoon, which I'm not really equipped for beyond my coat.
Is that all you're gonna say?
Well, I thought maybe you'd like to talk.
Oh, well, here, we're here, and we need to go down to
There.
Maxwell Lake.
Yes. Oh, it's creeping me out. What? Doll's eyes. They're looking at me.
After admiring the spooky berries, we made our way back to Maxwell Lake as it was starting to rain. This is a fantastic trail system, but unfortunately we underestimated it and didn't allow ourselves enough time to fully explore it. It's something we'll definitely plan for next time. After that, it was time for supper. We discovered a nice Greek restaurant with a good menu of options to choose from. Hi guys, didn't really get a chance to show this place last night. We were pretty occupied, but this is the Days Inn in Hinton, and the room we got was a kitchenette, which was pretty nice, except for the fact we didn't really use it. May use the sink there to clean up some stuff before we get out to the campsite, water bottles, that kind of thing, just to make sure they're really clean. But yeah, not bad. Just got a little rainy there yesterday, so we didn't think that was a good start to the backcountry trip. Hopefully the weather holds out. Pretty good place, but as you can hear, possibly hear right now, there is a bit of an elephant above us. So that was kind of annoying. After checking out of the hotel, we stopped for gas to prepare for our journey into the backcountry. We're driving to Rock Lake Provincial Park Trailhead, which will be the starting point of our 2-night backcountry trip. Wilmore Wilderness Park is known for its stunning mountain scenery and diverse ecosystems, making it a perfect destination for camping and exploring the area. However, as shown here, the access road is a narrow and rugged 36-kilometer unpaved route from Highway 40, and it should not be underestimated or navigated at high speeds. Additionally, there's no cell service in this area, so be sure to prepare thoroughly before heading out. With a certain sense of relief after a rough drive, we made it to the trailhead parking lot. Maybe on the other side. After parking the car, we stretched our legs and got our bearings while taking in the breathtaking views. Since Jasper National Park had recently experienced a forest fire, we checked the notice board for any warnings or alerts before reviewing our intended route. Okay guys, we are about here, and we're planning to go down this trail, Mountain Trail, and we'll see how far we get. We would like to get there, and the next day we'd like to get up to Seep Creek Trail, and then after that we'll just see how much time we've got for 2 days. With our gear packed, we started out into Wilmore Wilderness Park, and we're eager to explore as much as possible.
Oh, thoughts so far?
Not so similar to White Horse as I thought so far. It's a very different start. See how it is once we start going down the mountain trail, because I think then we start following a creek, or a river? Creek, I think it is. Actually, that's a river. And it might become more similar. This is very reminiscent of Jasper Park, so we kind of start off with a road.
Yeah. That heads off to Jasper Park, Jasper National Park, which is closed off to everybody still.
3. After a while, we encountered these ruffled grouse along the trail. I will try it. Yeah, I'm gonna go this way. Oh, you're gonna go this way anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I still want to go off to the right.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go this way then. How about you? You gonna go over there too? Yeah, there you go. The next trail we encountered seemed to be an old stream bed. So far we've walked 400 meters of this?
At least.
Yeah.
I think longer.
And we have more to go yet. There was an upper trail that kind of helps you bypass this, but yeah, this would be pretty ugly in heavy rains or spring. The mountain trail follows the Wildhay River, and we knew we were getting closer as the sound of rushing water grew louder. When we found an opening in the forest, we stepped out to see it for the first time. This is the river we need to cross later, and we were eager to assess it. Well, if it's like this further upstream, that should be quite crossable. So we came out on the riverbank here. I just wanted to get out here and see if there was any animals. This is a place where you may see bear occasionally. Don't think this is much of a fishing stream right now, though. It's pretty shallow here anyway. So I also came upon a campsite, which I'm going to mark down so when we come back I can find it. It even has a hitching post that somebody's made, but there's clearly no evidence of horses being here for some time. I think it's probably a random site, but it's a damn good one. It even comes with like a clothesline. So somebody's used it in the past, but it hasn't been used for a while. I can see that. You're right, I do hear a river.
Yeah, down to the right.
It's a free to use campsite then? Yeah. Near our river crossing, we found another campsite, which we discovered was being maintained by the Rocky Mountain Wilderness Society. However, we couldn't afford to be distracted any longer. It was time to cross the river. As we try to find a spot here. That is a little more rapidy than back down there. The thing is, I think we'd get caught anyway because you got that piece there, eh? Like you can see it getting heavy there, eh? We picked a shallow spot, but not knowing the river well, we prepared for deeper water anyway. To keep my boots dry, I crossed the stream barefoot. Maintaining my balance in the fast-flowing water and dealing with the cold were the main challenges. And the water was pretty cold. Okay, we got across. I did it barefoot. Not recommended. I'm gonna have to try and figure out something on the way back. Donna kept her pool shoes. I kicked mine out because I wanted to save on weight. Stupid. Very stupid. Anyway, we got across. We'll worry about getting back later. Earlier, Donna had discovered a type of log bridge or timber crossing downstream, but it had clearly been washed away long ago and was far too heavy to move. So guys, we crossed the creek, and that was a stupid thing I did. I went across with my bare feet. It worked. The rocks are like pebbles, right? So nothing sharp. But the problem is it's cold, and I have water shoes at home, and I left them out because I did not want the weight. I will not do that again. But yeah, mud continues. Hopefully not for much longer.
What the heck There's a slime mold or...
Good place for it.
That makes me hungry. With milk tea.
Not by the smell of horse manure, I smell. I should mention that mountain trail is frequently used by horses, which unfortunately creates muddy sections during wet conditions. If you can, I would suggest getting off mountain trail as soon as possible, as it is well traveled. No, they're showing up wherever they can be. Hey! We decided to take a quick break at the junction where Rock Lake Lookout Trail begins. The signage was unique and had clearly seen better days. So if that's the case, it's a smaller little creek there. Seep Creek would prove to be a little easier to cross, which was welcome after a long day of hiking. It's easy once you get started.
I know. Not so bad.
Knowing we were close to the intended campsite, I went on ahead to check how much further we had to go while Donna rested. And as I discovered, it was just past this gravel section of the creek bed.
It's just across the
Yeah.
creek. Nice place.
Is it?
Okay, so this is it. Pretty much the junction of Seep Creek Trail. We're gonna figure out where to put our tent. Maybe here? But there's a place back between those large trees over here too. That might work too.
I get a little bit too much sun in the evening.
Yeah, I'm just a little worried it's a little close to the bush too. You know, where bears could be.
I wonder if they use that as their,
Yeah, we found a place now.
yeah.
Coming in, I kept our water supply light, so my first task was to go upstream of the creek and filter some more. And by upstream, I mean where the horses were not.
Favorite Gina drink.
Official camping drink. After getting set up, we scouted a small portion of Seep Creek Trail and realized it was a lot narrower than Mountain Trail.
Trail was.
Later on, we met some people on horseback who spent some time talking with us about the area.
There is a spoon.
We were camping in a heavily wooded area, and as is our normal practice in such environments, we built a fire to alert any nearby animals to our presence.
Well, we made some smoke, so.
As evening approached, we began to hear an odd sound, one that's unusual this far into the mountains. We believe the sound came from others across the creek using chimes to alert them if their horses were in trouble. Not long after, we took shelter in our tent as thunderstorms rolled in, bringing an evening of heavy rain. So it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. And it is a wet, cold morning. Feels very much like +6, but I'm not sure. It feels a lot colder than that. We had quite a light show last night. Bit of a thunderstorm. It was a repeated thunderstorm. It's just when you thought it was going to stop raining, another thunderstorm would come along. And it finally stopped raining when the closest one came to us. And you can see here there's a lot of trees, so we had one close lightning, but not too close. It's the usual thing in the mountains here. You're just craving that sunshine to start warming you up. It's supposed to be a high of 18 today. So hopefully that gets us warm. But usually that's how it is in the mountains. Once that sun hits you, you warm up pretty quick. So I'm trying to dress for it, but I'm pretty cold right now. The skies are clear. Hopefully it stays that way. The tent held up fairly well. But it really poured. It really rained. With the sun rising over the mountains, I wasted no time and took advantage of the warmth it created. The sun rays also began to turn last night's rain into a beautiful mist. After packing up, we set out on a Seep Creek Trail. This trail offers a unique perspective compared to other Wilmore Wilderness trails, leading us through lush forest and crystal clear streams. Along the way, we came upon this unusual plant, which I believe is Elk's thistle. Continuing on, we approached one of the 2 creek crossings on this trail. There's one behind me here that looks like it could be better, but... or even up there, that little waterfall.
Oh my god. Oh, it's colder than yesterday.
It is, yeah. Makes sense with the rain.
It is kind of deep.
The second crossing turned out to be a bigger challenge.
Yeah, be careful. So we just crossed, and basically not more than 100 meters down the way, we ended up... Wow.
Oh, they're wet now. Shit, they're slippery.
Yeah. And we're basically in a little stream right here. Holy crap. Okay, this whole thing is a mud bog. Yeah. Yeah, we ended up in like a bog.
Yeah.
So according to the calculations, we haven't even made it like halfway.
No.
Holy.
Due to the trail conditions caused by the previous night's rain, we had no choice but to turn around, considering the time we had allocated for our backcountry trip. So we decided to make our way back towards the trailhead, stopping for the night at the first campsite we discovered the day before. Back on Mountain Trail, we were greeted once again by a ruffled grouse. This guy seemed reluctant to leave the trail, and we weren't sure if it was being territorial or just simply it didn't want to venture into the bushes where there could be predators. Eventually, it rightly decided that we were more dangerous and moved towards the trees. We encountered more horsemen heading the other way, and it turned out they were crossing the river barefoot as well, so I guess I'm not too out of line for doing the same. However, I do plan to use my water shoes next time, as it will make the crossing easier. Upon finding our campsite, we set up in this beautiful location.
A pretty amazing location.
While I finished my lunch, Donna went out onto the creek bed to explore, with me joining later.
There's some little tiny white stones that...
Yeah, I think it's the first time I've ever seen a conglomerate. Look at the bottom of that thing.
Oh, cool. So cool.
That is an interesting rock.
Oh, that's cool.
Back in our tent, we relaxed. Getting up in the night, I found the sky nearly clear, with the northern lights shimmering above. Unfortunately, the video didn't capture their beauty as I had hoped. I came back to the tent and woke up Donna so she could enjoy the view as well. By taking photos, the camera was better able to capture the lights. Unfortunately, you'll have to take my word for it that the long cloud is in fact the northern lights. After enjoying the beautiful evening sky, we got ourselves back inside the tent. Waking up somewhat perky, it was time to get started. We woke up to a beautiful sunny morning, and being a bit colder than the previous day, we appreciated the early warmth from the sun. After packing up our things, we took down our food bag, which had been hung from the only suitable spot we could find in the area. A quick selfie during a beautiful morning. After 2 nights in the wilderness, we made our way back to the Rock Lake trailhead with new memories and spirits rejuvenated. The Wilmore Wilderness area has left an indelible mark on us, and we will certainly return. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey.